Qualified patients will have their testosterone checked free. Call 904-900-4770, 904-900-4770. To regain your sex life in just one visit, call now. 904-900-4770.
If you're getting engaged and want to spend way more than you should on a diamond, go ahead and shop the Big Chain Diamond Store. They love taking your money.
If you want the lowest price guaranteed, shop Beard's Diamonds
At the St. John's Town Center or beardsdiamonds.com.
When the big story breaks, Action News Jax gives you an instant advantage with the biggest team of experienced reporters, giving you more details because we get more details with live, fast-changing updates as they happen. So you know the whole story, streaming on every screen, so you're informed no matter where you are. There's a reason we're #1 for breaking news, because if it's happening now and in your neighborhood, it's on Action News Jax.
live from the Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news, Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis suffered what the team called a rare injury to his left leg in the win in Game 2 of the NBA Finals, as is considered day-to-day. Boston up 2-0 at Dallas. Game 3 tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ABC. Tiger Woods believes he's strong enough to win this week's U.S. Open, said he likes that the third major of the year will be played in Florida-like heat, which will help his surgically repaired back and right leg. Pinehurst #2 is Tiger's best chance to play well at a major since his February 2021 car accident, says ESPN golf analyst Andy North.
It's a golf course that he understands how to play. It is a very, very difficult setup this week. It's going to be fast, and the greens here are so difficult to get the ball anywhere near the hole. Putting is very treacherous, but he's played well here before. He understands how to attack this golf course, and he's a wonderful iron player, and that is very important this week.
USA Basketball said Caitlin Clark's Olympic roster omission due to her lack of national team experience.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming on Wednesday, I'll tell you why Kyrie Irving needs to be the best player on the court if the Mavs want to get back into this series. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Hi, everyone. Terry Norvell here, along with Patrick Young from the Young and Norvell Show.
Our show is going great, and we are looking to grow the show with some new advertising partners.
If you're a business owner looking to market your product or service to a male, high-income, and college-educated audience, we are the show for you.
Just reach out for more information with a call or a text to 904-305-7526.
That's right. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll put together a budget-friendly marketing plan on our show exclusively for your business. Call or text me, Terry Norvell. That number again, 904-305-7526, and let's get you on our team.
Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
And welcome to the Aaron Schachter Show. How y'all doing? My name is Aaron Schachter. Brian Middleton. Looks like he's lost a little melanin behind that glass. Oh, it's you, Justin Cousart.
Yes, that would be me.
Lost a couple inches on your height as well.
Yeah.
Much shorter hair.
Brian's a little bit taller than myself.
Just slightly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brian Middleton, who right now is breaking all kinds of speed limit laws. I heard he overslept. 3:03.
At 3 p.m.?
That guy is really in love with sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt, listen.
I was a little worried. We were talking yesterday about how the whole building's getting sick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of the C word going around.
The vid,
which, by the way, shout out, happy birthday to COVID at the end of the year. It's going to turn 5 in November.
That is insane. It feels like it's been 17 years of dealing with it.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Even more wild when you consider you don't really have to do anything special for it anymore, right? Like,
No.
I don't think it's out here killing people still, is it?
No, but what is it? The medicine you're supposed to take, they give you now, Paxlovid or whatever? Paxlovid.
Say what now?
Endorsement pending.
No,
but
someone's
apparently
going to make some money off of
a
it.
coworker who we have said that it makes your mouth taste like fish. Like everything tastes like fish. And I was like, oh, who needs Ozempic when I can just take that and never want to eat anything?
I would legit rather have COVID for the next 24 years. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, he was saying he even went and got Taco Bell because like a very specific, strong flavor. And he was like, no, it just tastes like fish.
You remind me of a story that no one's going to be interested in. I was in Vegas for my wife's birthday a couple of years back. I took her to go see a concert.
And you got fish?
Real quick weekend trip.
Oh.
And we happened to meet up with a friend we have out in Vegas. And this friend is sitting at a bar, but like a Vegas hotel bar.
Mm-hmm.
Not like walking into Cheers on San Jose Boulevard bar. I mean, you're walking into like a nightclub.
There's casino, there's slots behind you and depression everywhere.
Yes. So we sit down at this round-ish couch with a lot of depression going on around us. And this friend hands her and I a flower bud. Like a legit, like it looked like a pretty yellow flower that was ripped off a stem. And we're like, all right, what's this? And she goes, eat it. And I'm like, no, not going to do that. And she goes, no, eat it. It's not like a drug or anything. It's not going to make you like stoned or high or anything, but it will change the way everything tastes.
This is like some Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas type stuff.
Spicy things will taste sweet.
Oh, I have done this.
Sweet things taste like salt. It's crazy. So fine, my wife is up for an adventure. She throws it in her mouth, starts chewing. I'm like, well, she's doing it. I'm doing it because I'm not getting left behind here.
Right.
So we both chew on this flower bud, and sure enough, I took a sip of beer, and it tasted like I was drinking straight sugar.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was happening. It was wild.
Yeah, I ended up surprising my wife with that. I did that and then like drank like vodka straight, and it was like no problem. Like,
AKA
it's
your
great.
Tuesday night dinner.
Yes, AKA tonight's dinner again. Yes.
Leftovers again. Yeah, exactly. When it's fermented potatoes, you don't mind as much.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, Drunk Justin Cousart.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Big breaking news. Hopefully my hotkeys are potted up right now, Justin, because we got big breaking news going on. Oh, man, before the show. It's wild how some of this stuff breaks right as we're going to the air.
Throw the format out the window.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I am hearing Joey Chestnut has been banned by the Competitive Eating Association for taking on a vegan hot dog endorsement. Now, look.
How un-American.
Look, I am the very first person to tell you I will take almost any deal somebody gives me.
Yeah.
Somebody goes, hey, we will pay you $100 to talk about this electrocution therapy that kills 80% of the people we give it to. I'd be like, all right, great. Where's the script?
Yeah.
What do I got to do?
Male enhancement, all that.
But I draw the line at vegan hot dog. And this man of all men, and maybe that's why the deal was so big, I think it's reported at $1.8 million.
I'd be a vegan for that much.
$1.8 million
Easily.
to get Joey Chestnut. Like, do we all really know Joey Chestnut like that?
Well, no. No, I don't think he's had a... Well, maybe he has, but has he done anything vegan in his life yet?
Even if he hasn't, like, is that a name that everybody know? I know it because,
everyone knows Joey Chestnut.
Are you sure?
He's quite literally Tom Brady.
Of eating.
Yes.
I actually thought that was me for a little bit. I've been upended by Joey Chestnut.
You would think like he would get an Ozempic endorsement.
But he's not fat. He's not big.
But the whole thing is like, look at how great I'm able to stay even though I'm slamming 46 hot dogs in a day.
Wild.
Now they're vegan hot dogs.
Have you ever seen the training these guys undergo for competitive eating?
It's gross.
I got this friend. I've had him on the show multiple times. He's actually the host of a podcast called Your Team's Stuff, where he goes on eBay and he searches for your favorite team's memorabilia, and then he does a podcast with you asking if you'd buy any of this stuff. It's actually pretty good. Check it out if you got the time. His name's Jeff Cerulli. Literally today released his comedy special on Amazon if you want to go buy it, Bomb Shelter Comedy. I ended up buying it. It was $12. Shout out to Jeff Cerulli. The reason I bring him up, aside from the fact that it's his special release day, is that he did a documentary a couple of years back. I mentioned it multiple times on the show called Hungry. And the whole documentary is about the competitive eating scene. Specifically, you remember Kobayashi.
Yes.
He was that small little Asian dude who seemed like he could put down an endless amount, infinity hot dogs every July 4th.
Joey's rival, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, very much so, until they unceremoniously kicked Kobayashi out of the league for trying to negotiate a better deal, better terms of his finances on his contract. They were like, you can kick rocks, little guy. Mm-hmm. And then they gave the whole kit and caboodle to Joey Chestnut, made him front and center, and boy, did he take it and run with it.
Why haven't we come up with like a triathlon eating contest?
Like running and eating?
No.
Like first phase you carbo load, second phase you run till you puke?
It's like 5 different foods and you've got 4 people on the team and however you want to an Olympic.
This is Fat Guy Olympics.
USA versus Paris versus dude, that'd be fun.
Yes. This is Fat Guy Olympics. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put it in the same kind of category of games. You can have the game where you shoot a cannon into a guy's stomach without a shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
And then you watch the replay in slow motion.
Whoever's got the most wrinkles.
Yes. Whoever has ripples, like a tsunami of belly fat. Yeah. Whoever's got that going on, you win the gold medal. Mm-hmm. And maybe some Twinkies as well.
And then afterwards, you have a plank of wood and you have to take your belly and slam it on the wood and see if you can snap it in half. So gross.
Brazilian belly jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's funny that you're in here today for this because it wasn't too long ago, Justin. This was your gimmick, eating weird foods.
I still want to do it. It just wasn't getting enough clicks.
Well, you were posting all over social media.
Yeah.
You were doing some weird. You were not only doing social food trends. I think you were taking weird suggestions as well.
Yeah, we were doing local Jacksonville places. We were doing reviews in a car. And then we were also taking suggestions on like what combo of food we should make.
You're not even going back far enough. You're talking about these videos you did with a content creator who used to work here named Abby.
Yes.
Who's moved on to a big national show, The Burt Show.
But before that,
I'm talking before you were eating like spaghetti and jelly or something.
Well, no, the spaghetti one was blue spaghetti for the Jags. Remember they were tealing out their hot dogs?
Yes.
So I tealed out I made all my food blue. I just went and bought food dye and made anything I could in my house blue and did a video eating it.
This is some dumb thing like a teenager does, except you're in your late 20s going, yeah, why not?
Yeah, here's some blue spaghetti. I think I did spaghetti. I did rice.
Were you married at the time?
No, but Nicole was living with me at the time.
So she saw this nonsense and still went forward with it.
She was my videographer.
She's like, you know what? I think I'll have a baby with this man.
No, I think she regrets it to this day.
What was the craziest thing you ended up eating during that whole saga?
The thing I remember the most was peanut butter and pickle on toast. God. It was weirdly good.
Even pregnant women hear that and they go, "You're a psychopath."
No, but it was like decent. Like so I just had a conversation with a food truck owner, right? He's on Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars on Fox.
Sure.
It's a reality TV show. He's competing. He's still on it.
Whatever you say.
Yeah. He makes soft pretzels.
Love me a soft pretzel.
And what he's been doing is he's been asking ChatGPT to give him perfect pretzel ingredient combos.
Ooh.
And the other day it told him kimchi and peanut butter.
I don't know what kimchi is.
You wouldn't like it. It's fermented a lot of stuff.
What?
You've never had kimchi?
No.
You would hate it. Like you definitely would not like it. It's like cabbage. It's fermented cabbage.
I like cabbage. Generally, kimchi has a tangy, spicy, and slightly sour taste. That sound familiar?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
It's
with
good.
A hint of umami flavor from the fermentation process.
And they call it that because once you eat it, you go, ooh, mommy.
What is it made of? It could be made of a variety of vegetables, like you pointed out, Justin, even fruits. But the most recognized version is made with cabbage. I like cabbage. I like a little sour cabbage.
It's kind of like pickled cabbage.
That
would be the best way to describe it.
That's like a PG rated version of sauerkraut.
Yeah, kind of. And apparently good for your gut because it's fermented. But either way.
It's like the radio edit of sauerkraut.
Yeah. But apparently, so he put that on a pretzel with peanut butter and he said that tasted horrible.
Yeah, it looks like it would taste horrible.
Yes. You gotta get some kimchi tonight or something. Put it on a...
I don't actually have to do this at all.
Not saying you got to put it with peanut butter. You just have to try kimchi. I'm surprised you've never had it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have to try it. I'm pretty sure I can go home and just eat leftovers and be A-okay.
Get like a rice cracker, put some kimchi on it, take a bite, see what happens.
Cool. Anything else that stood out to you?
No, that one definitely was like the most memorable because
There was one time where I was actually jealous. I was like, man, I kind of wish I was doing this bit.
So
is when you got the candy from the kid.
Well,
Which
that
sounds like I need to pause in honor of Brian.
That sounds way worse than it needed to. Yeah, the what are they? Freeze dried candy.
Yes. And it was a local kid, right?
Yep.
Shout out to the local kid.
Yeah, I forget. I wish I could remember the company name, but yeah, they did freeze dried candy. It was
Was it a company? I thought it was just like a teenage.
No. He goes to like the 904 pop up. Yeah, they still do their thing. But it was like Airheads and Jolly Ranchers and Skittles and yeah, it was really good. It makes it like popcorn.
I mean, as long as we're talking food here, I've got another friend who I want to shout out here. Shout out to Rory.
McElroy?
No.
Oh.
I wish he was my friend. Little single Rory give me a reason to take a pause from my marriage and spend some of his money while we go out on the town.
Okay.
Me and Rory, best bros.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Rory who works over at Vista Hermosa. They make tortilla flour tortillas and tortilla chips.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was up to this. He calls me one day. He's like, hey, man, I want to send you some of these things. And I was like, yeah, sure. Send me a box. He sends me literal full bags of tortilla chips and flat tortillas, sea salt, blue corn, spicy, all different varieties. It was the crunchiest tortilla chip I had ever had in my entire life.
I have a confession.
Oh.
I took some of those chips.
Oh, I left them in the break room. Because he sent me like a full box of them.
Yes, and the spicy ones were good.
They were good.
They were spicy. Like they were definitely
it says on the
some
bag. It's spicy. It does actually say that.
Yeah.
The thing about these, though, and I saw in the bag, you have to put them in the fridge.
Yep.
Because they're made from all natural ingredients. If you want to make them last longer, you put them in the fridge.
So that's the other part of the confession. The chips that I took, I forgot about, and I found them yesterday in my.
I bet they weren't so crunchy anymore.
I don't want to try. They're still in there.
You probably shouldn't eat them if you've opened that bag already.
I haven't opened them. Do you think they're fine not opened? I don't know.
You might be fine. I don't remember when he sent it. Here's what you should do. Get a video camera or your phone.
Try it.
And try it on video.
Yeah, I can go get them right now.
I mean, make some content, will you? Finally. But shout out to Vista Hermosa, the crunchiest tortilla chip I've ever had in my entire life.
Yeah.
The only request I would make, because it was absolutely delicious, and it was like a thick chip too.
Yeah.
But first of all, don't bother talking to anybody while you're eating these things. You're not hearing any of the conversation.
But those things are, like you said, they're thick. So, like,
they're not going to break off in the queso.
Yeah, there's
or
no
anything.
scoop casualties happen here. Yeah.
But I wish they would do a lime flavor, kind of like Tostitos has mastered. Because the lime-flavored tortilla chip with some queso or salsa, a little salsa verde, a little tomatillo. Whoo, buddy, that's the way to do it.
I'm not the biggest fan of lime and salt flavored things.
It's all right. You're allowed to have a wrong opinion.
Yeah.
Listen, when Cool Ranch Doritos wants to figure out how to be cool, they look at the lime-flavored tortilla chips, and they're like, all right, this is what we need to be doing.
While we're talking about chips, bring back 3D Doritos.
I never had them. Were they great? Why 3D?
I don't know, but they were They were the best. I remember from my childhood, 3D Doritos. Like, let's go.
You could always tell a good marketing campaign when you go, I have no idea why they did this.
They just said, you know what? Instead of having flat chips, what if we had chips that have air in the middle of them?
Sure. Maybe that's why they're 3D, because they're not flat. They're inflated.
They were literally just inflated Doritos.
Isn't that what bugles are?
Think that, but capped at the back end.
Okay.
And then Dorito.
Cool. We're getting to the bottom of things, guys.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting to the bottom of things, we have a mysterious tweet making the rounds on Twitter about the Jaguars right now. Very mysterious tweet. It's from your favorite snooping Twitter account, Pretty Ricky 213. I don't know if you know the saga of Pretty Ricky, but around the time of NFL free agency season, Pretty Ricky's Twitter account kind of popped up out of nowhere, and he started nailing a bunch of different signings that were about to happen.
I've always wondered how long it would take. Like, if I started tweeting right now about Jag stuff and just was 100 for 100, like everything I was saying, we're trading this person, we're picking up this person, we're doing this, we're doing that. How many times are you right until people are like, take notice?
Depends, I think, on the player.
Yeah.
It depends if it's big enough to be news. Because once one I don't want to say important, once someone with a semi-large following retweets or quote tweets you,
then you're
off and running.
Yeah.
because everyone wants to check it out. Yeah. Everyone wants to go look at the history and stuff like that. But here's Pretty Ricky's latest tweet as of, wasn't his latest tweet. This was tweeted out a few hours ago, 11:53 a.m. It says, I'm hearing things are heating up in Duval, and the Jags are ready to spend some of Shad Khan's money.
On the new stadium, or?
I don't believe this is about the new stadium.
Okay. Okay, just making sure.
I think this is about the quarterback, number 16. Ooh. I think this is in reference to Trevor's new extension, which, according to Pretty Ricky, things are starting to heat up. Now, let me throw out some disclaimers here. Number one, nobody has any idea who Pretty Ricky is. He could literally be the guy at Winn-Dixie feeding me, O'Brien, the fake reports. We have no idea. That's number one. Number two, Pretty Ricky doesn't put the timeline on here. It's not like Pretty Ricky says, hey, Duval, hope you don't have anything going on by 7 o'clock tonight because Trevor's signing the deal. He's like, hey, things are heating up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He said things are heating up and the Jags are ready to spend some of Shad Khan's money. So does that mean when they sign him in a week that this was an accurate tweet? I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far at all. But interesting to see this now. Because we do know Trev wants to get the deal done before training camp.
Are we sure it's not a Trevor Burner account?
Pretty Ricky 213? You know, the wild thing about this speculation, conspiracy theory, is more so than any reporter, a football player would have insight onto who's signing where and when.
I remember for the Sixers this year, there was an account that was defending Tobias Harris.
Well, when you talk defending, now you're talking burner accounts.
And that kind of led people to go, wait a second, it ended up being Tobias's dad. You know, you do some deep diving on the internet.
There have been some good discoveries of burner accounts over a couple of years.
That should be a documentary.
The Kevin Durant burner account discovery was actually pretty interesting because then you see what a baby boy this guy is.
Yeah.
My favorite one, though, was a political one. Mitt Romney, whatever you think about his politics is fine. Whatever you think about whatever is fine. I like the fact, number one, that he made a silly name for his burner account. It was a French man named Pierre Delecto, which I love. And then Mitt Romney's grandson had the comedy wherewithal that year for Halloween to dress up as Pierre Delecto, which was hilarious. Pierre Delecto sounds like a very safe superhero.
Yeah.
He's a competitive eating superhero.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got all these hot dogs. What will we do?
Pierre
I know.
Delecto.
Call Pierre Delecto.
Yeah.
They'll eat the whole thing and not ask for a trophy or anything in return. I can't believe we went this far on nonsense. This wasn't the plan today, Justin.
No.
I had a press conference I wanted to get
that's
to.
what happens when Joey Chestnut gets banned, the number one athlete in the world.
Whoa, eating athlete.
Sure.
I don't see Joey Chestnut out there doing jumping jacks.
Listen, he's got championships.
He runs
for days.
He runs a 6-hour 40-yard dash. I don't think anyone's calling him an athlete. Now the guy can put down 70 hot dogs in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I ever tell you my crystal hamburger eating contest story?
No, but that would be fun.
Back when the Landing was the Landing here in Jacksonville, every year they used to do a sack of burgers eating contest at the Landing. And so you'd go down there and compete or watch these other fools compete. And so back before podcasts were popular, I was on a podcast called The Top of the Bottom of the Barrel. And we decided for one of the shows, I was going to go enter the Crystal Hamburger eating contest down at the Landing.
Okay.
And so we get down there like we're just going to show up and wreck house. And obviously 400 people have entered already.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, this isn't getting done tonight. So we went and bought like a sack of 24.
And just went to see how it
went.
went?
We drove back to the radio station, and it was me versus one or two other guys from the station. And I was convinced I was going to house these guys. Like I could easily put down 12 of these things in 10 minutes. Right? Like
Possibly.
any person should be able to.
The bread is going to slow you up the most.
Boy, did I learn that lesson the hard way. I was about literally 3 hamburgers in. 3 hamburgers in. I was like, oh, no.
I'm full.
Yeah. I'm not getting past. I'm going to vomit like any second. Oh. And sure enough, I ended at 4.5.
And puked.
My competition ended at 9.
Oh.
And that was the last time
That's when you gotta
competitive
you got to implement the liquid. You got to start dunking them in water, and so you water down the bread.
I didn't know all these pro tips.
Yeah, man.
I hadn't watched the Hungry documentary. I didn't see any interviews with Joey Chestnut or Kobayashi. I didn't have any of the details. So, all right, let's hit the break. That being said, shout out to Joey Chestnut on becoming the new vegan hot dog endorser. Congrats on your $1.8 million. Shout out to Brian Middleton for sleeping in past 3 p.m. today. Shout out to Justin Cousart for being a weirdo who eats weird stuff. Shout out to Rory for giving me the delicious tortilla chips and tortillas. They were delicious, and apparently my coworkers enjoyed taking some as well. Shout out to everybody today. We're having a fun time on the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. When we come back, Press Taylor spoke to the media. Press met with the press. And we've got all of the details right here on the Aaron Schachter Show.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
I'm Action News Jax First Alert meteorologist Trevor Gibbs. Another day with hot temperatures in the lower to middle 90s, but we will see some relief from the heat today with a few showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, widely scattered about. Higher rain chances for Wednesday, slightly cooler temperatures near 90 and occasional rain through the end of the week. Not a whole lot, but needed rain is on the way. From the Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Trevor Gibbs.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. 0% financing for 5 years is back for a limited time at Beards Diamonds.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. Together, we're Anajar and Levine. If you've been hurt in a car crash, we'll fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. Main office, Jacksonville.
Ammon here with Zero Res. After a long day's work, my family and I love to sit on our favorite sofa and recliners and watch a good TV show. It kind of helps us wind down for the day. We usually pass around some fresh popcorn too. That's why we need to bring home the Zero Res truck and get that furniture looking great again.
For the month of June, Zero Res is offering 25% off all upholstery cleaning. That's 25% off a sectional, 25% off a sofa, 25% off a love seat, and 25% off your favorite recliner. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Hi, this is Stan Nagel for Energy Seal Foam Insulation. Do you have a metal building that you're burning up in? Call us today and let us fix it. Call Energy Seal to have spray foam insulation applied to your metal building. 888-306-3626. EnergySealToday.com. 888-306-3626.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. So my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Ammon here with Zero Res. After a long day's work, my family and I love to sit on our favorite sofa and recliners and watch a good TV show. It kind of helps us wind down for the day. We usually pass around some fresh popcorn too. That's why we need to bring home the Zero Res truck and get that furniture looking great again.
For the month of June, Zero Res is offering 25% off all upholstery cleaning. That's 25% off a sectional, 25% off a sofa, 25% off a love seat, and 25% off your favorite recliner. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Hi, it's me, your plumber, with important information for anyone interested in safe, soft, filtered water. Don't drink bottled water. Get advice from someone you trust, buy a water filter, and don't call those high-priced water guys. Instead, call me, your plumber. I recommend Safety Zone water systems, so you get top-quality equipment, affordable prices, and you'll save money too. Safety Zone is your #1 choice considering price, performance, and reliability.
Safety Zone Water is the single-source water treatment supplier for the plumbing industry. Our distributor is Nolan Company Jacksonville, the leading plumbing wholesaler for water treatment in Northeast Florida. For sales and service, contact your local plumber or visit us at safetyzonewater.com.
Safety Zone Water.
The #1 water brand recommended by plumbers.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go, almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/
the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
ESPN 690 has a chance for you to win tickets to see the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp play at 121 Financial Ballpark. Register to win your tickets at ESPN690.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. How'd it do? 904-362-9901. The boys out at the stadium once again. Mandatory minicamp underway. Day 2. Second day of activities. Not everyone in-house. Few of the veterans were excused. Some of the veterans were not, depending on their injury status and if they participated in voluntary activities. Josh Allen in camp. I did see he gave a little impromptu press conference on the field. We'll have those comments tomorrow. Also tomorrow, we'll have Dada 5000 in studio. Dada, who's the guy who basically invented the backyard brawls down in Miami, invented Kimbo Slice. And now he's back with a bare knuckle fight promotion. So we'll have him in here where I'll tell him that Brian was saying all kinds of mean stuff about him and see if they'll fight. I don't know if that'll actually work, but that's how to get a workman's comp. Catch a bare knuckle sandwich from Dada 5000. It's got to be worth a few $100 a month or something.
You would think.
You get the suit from Dada, you get the workman's comp, you're sitting pretty. Brian will be set up by some more of those clothing that he likes. The man's got fashion style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off topic once again. It's the most ADD show, the most ADHD show in the universe.
We need a button that just says, you're off topic.
Let's
get back on track.
Let's quickly get back on track. Let's talk about Press Taylor, because every time this man steps to a microphone, I am fascinated. I'm fascinated because everybody asking Press Taylor questions has already asked Doug Peterson questions about why he continues to allow Press Taylor to answer these questions on the field. Like, if I'm Press Taylor, I'm looking at all these reporters going, weren't you just asking about my job yesterday? Weren't you just checking on if I'm going to get demoted? I would not be in the mood to talk to these people. And when you hear Press talk to the press, I think he does have an interesting style. Sometimes I feel like he talks so long that you forget the question and you just move on. No follow-up. You know, I'm a big fan of follow-ups. I'm a huge fan of follow-ups. I feel like the Jacksonville media lets the front office and the coaching staff and players, for that matter, off far too often without a follow-up. And so we're starting to see that change a little bit. That's great. I'm happy to see that. But it's hard to follow up with someone when you ask them a quick question, they give you a 1.5-minute answer, you're like, I'm not even sure where to go right now. And then by the time you're thinking about it, they're moving on to the next person. And then what you get are a bunch of questions nobody cares about. I won't say nobody, but a bunch of unimportant questions. Because now you just got reporters looking at their pad going, well, let me get this one in. It's almost my turn. Like, almost no one is listening to the answer at that point, except for the really good, skilled veteran reporters. Like, for instance, multiple times this offseason, I've heard them ask press about Josh Cephas. I get people are excited about Josh Cephas, a young guy trying to make his way on the team. But you're talking about someone who's not going to crack the starting lineup. You're not going to see him on the field. Barely going to play special teams if they play. How does Parker Washington look? Well, I'm sure he looks better than he looked last year as a rookie. But he's not even one of your top 4 pass catchers this year. Like, where are we going, guys? What are the questions we're asking here? What have you thought of Mac Jones this offseason? Not much. I don't need to. Like, we brought him in, happy to have him. We've got depth in the quarterback room.
He's also drawing more celebrity fans.
Fine, because of social media posts. The point I'm making is if the season goes according to plan, which when you're talking about June 11th, everybody's season is going according to plan. You're not talking about the backup quarterback or the backup to the backup. You're talking about the starters. And if you don't have a question to ask about Trev, I don't think you need to ask a question about the quarterbacks. There are other important questions to be asking. And some of them were actually asked. This first question, it couples two together. Thoughts on the current wide receiver room, and also, how's Josh Cephas been coming along? No offense to Josh. It's great he's getting all this attention. I feel like I'm singling him out, but only because I've heard his name now 6 or 7 times. This is like, to me, this is Tim Jones syndrome. This is Laquan Treadwell syndrome. This is like, you hear these guys' names before the season starts and you get all hot to trot on a new up-and-comer or somebody who's going to break the mold. And then you get to the season, you forget they're on the team. Like, you really want to see them play instead of Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, Brian Thomas, Gabe Davis, any of those guys? No, I want those guys on the field. Press, how's the wide receiver room coming along?
I mean, the roster's always kind of fluid, sometimes week to week. Of how do we build
by the way,
best
shout out to Press, not to interrupt him, I'll get to him right here in a second. Shout out to Press for taking these not great questions and still handling them like they are great. Like he does, with a modicum of respect, talk to these reporters like the question they asked is good or what they're doing is important. He knows. He knows some of these questions are nonsense. Now, in some of the more higher ups, like a Doug Peterson, or some of these more veteran head coaches, you'll hear a little bit of the pushback, like, oh, really? This is okay. Let's talk about that. He's like, all right, you want to talk about the wide receiver room on June 11th when I've got 15 people in there? Let's go. Let's talk. I got to be here anyway. We're just killing time together.
I mean, the roster's always kind of fluid, sometimes week to week, of how do we build the best 53, getting ourselves to a game day active roster. Who are you risk losing if you make available, if you put on waiver wires versus who could you potentially bring back, things like that.
This is the other thing
Did he
about...
just explain waiver wires?
Listen, this isn't the first time he does this. This is the other thing about Press, is like I said, so he goes, okay, I've got to be out here 20 minutes, right? This is my availability.
Yeah.
Either I can give 15 to 30 second concise answers and field maybe 50 questions, or I could damn near filibuster you for a minute and a half, and you're only getting like 7 or 8 of these bad boys in. And quite frankly, the bad reporters will kind of forget what we were asking about in the first place. So, yes, he just explained to you waiver wire and practice squad.
Yeah.
It's not the last time he does this. I mean, he goes deep into assignments. He goes deep into naming of certain play characteristics. And it's like, we don't need any of this.
That's a skill I wish I had, to be able to talk for 10 minutes and absolutely say nothing.
Don't you host a podcast?
Yeah, but I say stuff. I say important things on the podcast.
You feel like you say stuff. The rest of us don't really feel that way.
I really feel like the rotations and, as long as we can avoid injury, yeah.
It's funny, the ball was spinning at a 35-degree angle during the game, and that's weird because only certain players are right already.
The passion just wasn't there.
that all comes into play, but, ideally you've got 3 guys that are going to contribute most of the pass game to, a 4th guy that can be versatile or have some sort of role.
You're laughing, but I actually think this is the most important part of the answer.
And then depending 5th, 6th, a lot of that comes down to special teams.
All right, so this is basically what he said. You got 3 or 4 guys who matter.
Starters, if you will.
When we talk about pass catching. That's what he said.
Yeah.
You got another guy or 2 who could possibly be versatile. Maybe they're a pass catcher. Maybe they're a kick returner. Maybe they're special teams. Jack of all trades. When I hear this, I think Jamal Agnew. Now, obviously, he's not here this year. Duvernay is the guy we ended up replacing him with, technically. But that's who I think, that's the kind of player he's talking about. But then he's talking about guys 5 and 6 on the roster who, if they can play special teams, they'll get a jersey. But, no one's counting on these guys to win the day.
Ideal world, we're not throwing the ball to the 5th receiver a lot of times on game day when there's 5 guys up. It's the top 3 guys you're
top
kind of rolling through, plus tight ends, running backs, whatever the matchups determine. And then that guy has versatility to play multiple spots or thrive in a certain role, but probably gets a game day jersey.
He doesn't need all this right here. He's given the answer, and now he's got another 20 seconds of this.
Because of special teams, most likely. And then we have a lot of guys like Cephas that you're asking about that kind of fit that mold of, how do they fit? Where do they fit?
He's not even saying he knows where he belongs. The question about this young man, this man is so far from the game day winning game plan at this point on June 11th that Press Taylor is like, this is the kind of guy I'd put in the category of figuring out what we got.
Fit in 4th, 5th, 6th. What's their value as a receiver? What's their value on special teams as well?
Lots of words he didn't need. But you see how he works.
Yeah.
He's smart. He's playing chess, not checkers.
Yeah, I like it.
Playing chess, not checkers. All right. Next question. Well, you're talking about pass catchers. You're talking about groups of pass catchers. Clearly, you include Evan Ingram in that group. What would you like to do with Evan Ingram this year? I don't necessarily love this question. If I'm Press Taylor, I'm like, well, I would like him to break every record he's ever had and every record the franchise has ever had. But I understand the question. What do you hope to see from the guy? Here's Press on what he hopes to see from Evan.
Evan is such a dynamic ball carrier that a lot of it is get him the ball as quick as he can, running away from people. But I think an element that he's always had is getting down the field, really. And sometimes it's trying to find what the matchup is. You can get him on safeties, that. There's certain looks.
He's going to do it again. He's going to talk about matchups and stuff. Here's what I'm saying. Interesting. First thing he goes to is yak, Evan Ingram. We saw this a lot last year. And really, we see it every year with Evan Ingram, but I think more so last year than in years past. I think we're talking about reliance on Evan Ingram to continue to grow in a way we started to see last year, where the first successful year with Trev, it was Christian Kirk and then some Evan Ingram and Zay Jones also responsible for breaking their personal bests. Last year with Christian hurt, we saw the reliance on Evan Ingram really becoming wide receiver number 1 on this team, even though he's playing from the tight end position. And I think this year, I don't see that as being a regression. Even though Christian Kirk is back healthy, even though you added a Gabe Davis and a Brian Thomas Jr., I would fully expect to see Evan Ingram as wide receiver number 2 from the tight end spot for at least the first half of the season, if not more, allowing Brian Thomas Jr. to come along at his own speed.
We don't get a lot of matchups with him against linebackers necessarily versus man.
You interested in another 20 seconds of the matchup talk?
Against linebackers necessarily versus man. We get a lot of safety carry looks. But there's a lot of those elements. And he's done a good job, particularly when he's in the core blocking second level, when we have a couple schemes.
This was interesting to me, too, because we do know that Evan Ingram can block, but Press specifically likes when he gets up into the second level. He doesn't like him being inline tight end. He likes him getting up to the second level and blocking like he asks his wide receivers to do. Like he asks guys like Christian Kirk to do. Like he had been asking guys like Zay Jones to do. Gabe Davis has an excellent reputation for being a blocker. Excellent reputation out of Buffalo. Brian Thomas Jr. in multiple interviews has talked about at LSU, if you don't block, you don't play. So he basically evangelizes blocking for run plays as well. And so they asked him on the follow-up to that, Gabe's got a rep for being a good blocker. BTJ has said he loves blocking. Do you plan to lean in on that with this group? Now, you're talking about some pretty significant pass catchers there. Very speedy, long, tall pass catchers. Do you plan on leaning in on their run blocking as much as you plan on leaning in on their long stride, fast route pass catching?
We feel like kind of the interior, the core unit is going to help us efficiently run the football.
The offensive line.
Help us efficiently run the football. But efficiency turns into explosion when the receivers are blocking.
So we didn't have either of those last year. We didn't really have great blocking receivers last year, and we didn't really have a great blocking interior core on the line last year. So rather than explosion or just basics, we got less than. We had a subpar run attack last year. And so Press seems to feel confident that if the offensive line takes care of business, his wide receivers can take care of business too.
Get those 4-yard runs turn into 14-yard runs because we got hats on the safety. We're carrying corners out, whatever that may be. Their size helps. They're both big, strong, physical guys for the most part. Gabe's done it in the NFL, which is a big deal. Brian will get him worked in on certain concepts, but everybody has to block. We ask Christian to block. Having more of them helps us. Now we're less into this guy's on the front side, the runs to him, this guy's on the back side, the runs away. Like, it just helps you eliminate tendencies as you go, having more guys that can do more things.
More guys equals more gooder.
More guys who can do more things.
More guys who could do more things equals more betterer.
That's the is that the Jags slogan this year? More guys who can do more things.
It's in the locker room. They all smack it on the way out to the field. More guys who can do more things, more gooder.
More gooder.
More gooder. Last one before we go to break. How hard is it to assess your offensive linemen this time of year? We hear a lot of talk about these guys not wearing any pads, not being able to go up against the defense. How do you even know what you got? How do you know what you got? We're not talking about Cam Robinson, Anton Harrison, Mitch Morse. We're talking about the new guys, the young guys, the guys in the camp. How do you know what you got?
That's hard because a lot of it for them, there's so much more learning for offensive linemen than there was in college. Just we have a number of different calls. We're trying to build their toolbox is a big thing of.
We've actually heard this more so than any other position group. The learning that needs to get underway, the transition from college to pro is the steepest, is the most involved at the offensive line, where according to all analysts, general managers, former players, development for offensive linemen in college is near non-existent.
You face this sort of rusher, this is how you're going to approach it this week, and it changes every single week. So they're seeing a lot of that throughout the offseason just based on whether you're playing Josh Allen, Deshaun Dixon, Trayvon Walker, like all these different types of rushers. You start to see how that changes. So you see how they handle it, how they adjust. But a lot of it, you're just trying to get them to learn what they can do, what the tools are. They really, one of the big things, they haven't heard plays in the huddle, and they haven't really used cadence at the line. I mean, a lot of it was no huddle. You got a signal. You heard the quarterback clap. Let's roll. We have to vary the cadence. We have a lot more play calls. You hear it in the huddle. So there's a whole process that you're just trying to get them through really to now their skill set flourishes. It's a little bit.
It's almost like a different gig. You almost got to be a different kind of student to be able to pull it off, at least relative to what they were doing in college.
Going back to like Parker. Parker's settled in. He's more confident now. You want to get them through that as fast as possible so you can see their skill set take over.
Well, they're trying to do that now. That is one thing they have focused on this offseason. It is offensive line depth. Let's go ahead and take a break here on the Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Thoughts on Press's comments so far? How you feeling, Jacksonville?
I'm feeling gooder.
Oh, okay. Well, more guys who are more versatile are more gooderer.
More gooderer.
So you are feeling the correct way.
Yeah.
Way to go, Justin. Shout out to Justin Cousart. Aaron Schachter Show back in a couple of minutes right here on ESPN 690.
Let's face it, work sucks, but you do get a lunch break. That's where the Young and Norvell Show comes in weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690, featuring me, Terry Norvell, and former Gator basketball star and current SEC Network analyst Patrick Young. Let's face it, Hollywood has been fresh out of ideas for 25 years. So don't waste your valuable lunch break on the same old tired TV and movie shows. Tune in to the Young and Norvell Show, where we promise to make you laugh, think, get angry, but most important, you will have fun. It will quickly become your favorite part of the day. The Young and Norvell Show, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
I'm sure many of you guys feel like you wish you could be as fit as you were in your 20s. The dad bod is really tough to shed. I'm Dr. Lance Snyder, and I did something about it through Dr. Rappaport at the Jax Aesthetic Center. I'm active, I played college sports, and I still work out a few times a week. Nothing worked. As a doctor and a dad, I want to be around as long as possible and feel good about my body. Dr. Rappaport put together a personalized treatment plan that worked. It was easy for me to make appointments, get to those appointments, and get back to work in time. I also recommend the Emsella chair for any urinary issues or ED. Dr. Rappaport has state-of-the-art treatment options for men. And the M-Sculpt Neo is an abs blast. 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Give yourself your own gift this Father's Day at the Jax Aesthetic Center. Build muscle and lose fat. Call or text today, 904-808-2455. That's 904-808-2455. You won't be sorry.
Have you seen your financial freedom wiped out by stock market volatility? It's Rich Jones. Consider investing in real estate funds from DLP Capital. Don Winter is CEO and founder.
DLP Capital has provided our investors with consistent double-digit returns by investing in cash-flowing residential real estate. For more than a decade, we have had zero losses, little volatility, and have shot above our return targets in all of our investment funds. Plus, we offer monthly distributions and tax shelter opportunities.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial **invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
This Sunday is Century Firearms' huge Father's Day sale. Mark your calendars and come check out our vast selection of firearms and accessories before this huge sale. Good prices and large selection. Century Firearms, your trusted partner in protection.
Ronald McDonald House Charities of Jacksonville is celebrating 35 years of supporting the health and well-being of critically ill children and their families who need to be near a hospital. To learn more, visit rmhcjacksonville.org.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks Girls. We just love guys that listen to the Young and Norvell Show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on ESPN 690.
What up? It's Aaron Schachter Show. 904-362-9901. Waiting on the arrival of one Brian Middleton. In the meantime, very special guest. We haven't heard from this man in quite a while. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would do me the service, please all rise. Ladies and gentlemen, King South Beach has joined the program. Welcome, South Beach.
Hey, Aaron Schachter, hearing Presto's comments, does that mean they're not going into a shotgun 3rd and 1 anymore?
It doesn't sound like that's the plan, Gary. No.
That was brilliant play calling.
Sounds like you got a beef with Press.
Inspired. Well, they fired the wrong guy. They fired the defensive guy. They should have fired Press Taylor.
I mean, the defense didn't exactly look great during the collapse. I'm not sure if they fired the wrong guy, but
It sounds like you didn't want them to stop there. They stopped short for you.
Well, their offense was at least as responsible. I mean, is he not partly responsible for Trevor Lawrence improving as the offensive coordinator? Put him in position to make plays?
Yeah, that is part of the gig. You want to be able to win, and you put guys in position to win, and the offensive coordinator is largely responsible for that, sure.
A couple of things. Please don't cut me off. Number one, Tiger's teeing off a little after 7. He's reduced to becoming what they call a dew sweeper now on tour.
Okay.
That's what a dew sweeper does. Tees off at 7 o'clock.
Got it. You told me not to interrupt you. I'm just waiting until you're done with your point, sure.
That's terrible. I mean, give up a ghost, Tiger. I mean, just retired. You know, you're making a fool out of yourself.
Still beats you on the course.
Well, he should. He's played golf for 40 years. I mean,
yeah, that's actually not a bad point, Gary. That's probably the most salient point you've ever made on the radio show, if I'm being honest.
And another good pickup by the Dolphins, Marcus May. They had Marcus May to the secondary.
Yeah, I did see that, adding Marcus May, former New York Jet. I loved Marcus May when he was on the Jets. It was sad that they had to let him go, but they had to do a little cap restructuring. But you got a good one there. Hey, a little injured more so these days, but you got a good one.
That's probably because Aaron Rodgers said he didn't want him. They go do whatever Aaron Rodgers says.
Apparently Aaron Rodgers said he didn't want to go to camp either. He's missing the first day of mandatory minicamp over there for what they're calling a personal event.
I thought he was all in. Didn't he say he was all in?
He has been all in. He's been going to the voluntary OTAs. He just missed a day or two of the mandatory ones.
I'm very concerned about Tua's weight loss, and I know Jalen Waddle is too. He said he wasn't down with it. So
yeah, Tyreek Hill didn't like it either. Tyreek Hill accused him of being on Ozempic, Gary.
Yeah, he looks it. I mean, he was getting papers in. He wasn't what I'd call a fat guy, even though he was heavy. Put on some weight to it. What are you doing? Is he trying to add speed? Does he want to run more? What is this? Why is he doing this?
It's a good set of questions.
Even his own receivers aren't with it.
Yeah, you're not making a bad point, Gary, and I appreciate the call. They have criticized him for the weight loss. The reality is Tua is doing stuff to hack that body. Last year, he put on a little bit of weight, so he felt like he could be a little more safe in the pocket. And it certainly paid off. He played every game last year, had a killer season. Now he's lost a little bit of that weight, and I think he's trying to get a little more agile, like you were pointing out. I think he wants to be a little more speedy on the field, get a little more wind behind his sails, and I think the way he thinks to do that is to take 10 to 20 pounds off of that body frame. You're wondering where it comes from, though, because it's not like Tua was sitting there at 65% body fat on the BMI index. He wasn't looking like your buddy Aaron when they were putting the measuring tabs on him. You got to wonder where he's taking the weight from. Where is the muscle mass leaving that Tua is dropping close to 20 pounds? We'll have to investigate that very closely. It's the Aaron Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. We'll pause for a few seconds for the Sports Center and back right after that.
I've got 2 words for you. Incredible inventory. And it's all at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. I'm talking over 600 vehicles in stock, one location. That's over 275 SUVs, over 200 cars, over 110 pickups. Arlington Pre-Owned even has 125 vehicles under $18,000. Plus, now you get 60 days to love your purchase or exchange it. And help from Arlington's Credit for Everyone program. Shop 10939 Atlantic Boulevard or arlingtontoyota.com.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Salvatores.com.
Are you looking for the perfect Father's Day gift? Look no further than Shooters. This Thursday through Sunday, June 13th through the 16th, Shooters and Smith & Wesson are bringing you the largest Smith & Wesson sale of the year. With the largest savings of the year, plink away with a Smith & Wesson M&P 1522. Very affordable, just $429. You save $70. The most popular small frame defense revolver on the market, the Airweight 38 Special for only $469. Save $70. The hottest selling concealed carry pistol, the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus 9mm for only $399. You save $150. Get unmatched value with the new Smith & Wesson SD9 2.0 handgun for a low $279. Save $80. Shooters and Smith & Wesson's Father's Day sale, the largest sale of the year, June 13th through 16th at Shooters, 5085 University Boulevard West. See the full ad at shootersjacks.com.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Did you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
If it's time to replace your air conditioning unit, Snyder can help. Get 0% interest if you pay in full within 60 months. Visit SnyderAC.com and get the details in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813307.
Hi, it's me, your plumber, with important information for anyone interested in safe, soft, filtered water. Don't drink bottled water. Get advice from someone you trust, buy a water filter, and don't call those high-priced water guys. Instead, call me, your plumber. I recommend Safety Zone water systems, so you get top-quality equipment, affordable prices, and you'll save money too. Safety Zone is your #1 choice considering price, performance, and reliability.
Safety Zone Water is the single-source water treatment supplier for the plumbing industry. Our distributor is Nolan Company Jacksonville, the leading plumbing wholesaler for water treatment in Northeast Florida. For sales and service, contact your local plumber or visit us at safetyzonewater.com.
Safety Zone Water.
The #1 water brand recommended by plumbers.
Live from the Anajar and Levine studios, Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The status of Celtics center Kristaps Porzingis uncertain. Game 3 NBA Finals tomorrow against the Mavericks, 7:30 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ABC. Porzingis suffered a rare injury to his left leg in Game 2 and is considered day-to-day. Coach Joe Mazzulla.
What I'm being told is it's obviously something serious, but it's something that has the potential to play. He's going to do everything he can between now and game time to play, but we're going to make sure we put him in the best possible situation. Our medical team will protect him, and you know, because this time of year it can be very tempting to put yourself in a compromising situation, and so he's going to try like hell to play, but we got his back.
Joe Mazzulla on the NBA on ESPN Radio. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers and edge rusher Hassan Reddick not at Jets mandatory minicamp, both unexcused absences. Coach Robert Saleh told reporters Rodgers' absence is related to an event that's very important to him. Reddick's is contract related. USA Basketball says a lack of national team experience, a big reason Caitlin Clark wasn't on the U.S. Women's Olympic roster, unveiled today. Phillies catcher JT Realmuto will undergo right knee surgery tomorrow. No timeline yet for his return.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy, coming up Wednesday. I'll tell you why Kyrie Irving needs to be the best player on the court if the Mavs want to get back into this series. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Free is key during Craftsman Days at Lowe's. Right now, get one free Select V20 tool when you buy a Select Battery 2-pack. Plus, get your choice of a V20 drill or impact driver kit for $69. Don't miss your chance to save on the high-quality, high-performance tools you need during Craftsman Days. Because Lowe's knows tools. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 6/19 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine.
Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Meet David, talking about his experience with BioTarget regenerative therapy at injury care centers.
After my first treatment of BioTarget, I noticed the results right away when I left the office. I was having pain in my knee and I was unable to run. After the treatment, I was able to start running again. I was taking like ibuprofen. It really wasn't working. Really didn't want to consider surgery at all, so that's why I seeked out the BioTarget. You can have here at the Injury Care Center, they're going to give you 100% money back guarantee for a treatment. I don't know if it gets any better than that. I was amazed about the results. I would definitely recommend this to my friends and family members.
Stop masking your pain with harmful medications. There's a better solution. BioTarget regenerative therapy has helped countless others, and it can help you too. Call 904-92-REGEN or visit gobiotarget.com today.
Spring has sprung and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com. Who is this guy? Aaron Shafting? What is it? Oh, Schachter? Schachter. Okay. Shack Attack. Schachter. He gets shacked. But I digress. Here we go.
You ready? Yeah. Turn off your radio.
The Aaron Schachter Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show. 1 hour to go, 904-362-9901. Special shout out to Justin Cousart, who joined us in the first hour, filling in for a sleepy Brian Middleton. Brian, you don't look very happy today. You look like you got too much going on at the same time.
Didn't get enough sleep.
Yeah, man. I don't know that I've ever seen you in a bad mood before.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Are you like the old producer when you're in a bad mood, you try to sabotage the show, or no? Is that not what's going to happen here?
Why are you shooting at that man?
I'm just saying, whenever he was in a bad mood, it meant everyone was going to be in a bad mood.
That's just the way I like it. I'm bringing everybody down with me.
Really, living in the muck and the mire. Hey, speaking of living in the muck and the mire,
here we go. Okay.
I want to talk about the Texans this hour. What were you going to say, Brian? I cut you off.
No, muck and mire, that's one of your go-tos. I like it when you have
Do I say
you
it
have
too
it in your
much?
hip pocket. And you're like, hey, man, the muck and the mire.
I do have a fair amount of these old man things that I do over and over again, and I don't know I do. Like the story I told you for the 4th time recently, and you were like, yeah, the 2nd or 3rd time, every time you tell it, you give me more details.
But that's why I like when you tell it, because I'm like, what new factor didn't you put in last time? That it's like a Easter egg.
It's a new day to me every time. I have no idea that we've already been down that road. But we're babbling here. And quite frankly, we have a very special guest on the phone. Ladies and gentlemen, joining the Aaron Schachter Show from, I believe, either Houston or San Francisco, is Cole Thompson, Texans beat writer for Texans WR. Cole, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, dude? Yeah, so my dad just turned 69 today, so
Congrats.
We have a very nice birthday planned for him, and that's why we're out in San Francisco. And that's why I couldn't be on yesterday, because I was in the middle of flying. And you forget that the time zone is completely different, and also it's like a 5.5-hour flight. So it's really interesting because you don't actually feel like, oh, you're in the air that long, and then it's like you time by and it's, oh, it's 1 o'clock. No, it's actually 4:30.
Yeah, no, you've
nowhere near it.
Literally time traveled when you go to the West Coast for sure. Yeah. So happy birthday, Dad. That's exciting stuff. San Francisco's a beautiful city when you're not fighting the homeless.
Exactly. You know, last night it was great. We went out to a few bars, saw Hannibal Lecter. Honestly, that might have been exactly who it was, because if he was basically probably going to eat us if we didn't leave the bar in like 5 seconds, because that's where he was. So, yeah. You know, It's really fun. It's really easy. Really
Sure.
relaxing when you don't have to go ahead and fight people.
Making core memories of psychotic people in bars. That's the way to do it. Well, Cole, I got your name from a guy we've had on the show before, Jake Assman, who covers the Jets. He's a great Jets YouTuber. And he said, man, you want to talk to someone about the Texans, you talk to Cole Thompson. He knows what he's doing out there. And what I said to Jake, I'll say to you, I think I said it in the email. I think I might be the only idiot in the entire country who is not buying into the Houston Texans in 2024, C.J. Stroud in 2024, and the addition of Stephon Diggs in 2024. And so I was like, you know what? Allow me to give this franchise in the AFC South, along with our Jacksonville Jaguars, allow me to give one of the beat reporters for this franchise the opportunity to school me. Why am I an idiot for not believing in this thing? Because it's going to be hard to homer up if the Texans are as good as everyone's making them out to be.
So let's go ahead and call you an idiot for multiple reasons.
Okay.
Number one, the Texans are right now in a great state of mind when it comes to their offensive line, which is a big standpoint from last year. You know, you didn't have a good left guard because you lost Kenyon Green before the start of the season. He's lost 15 pounds of fat, added about 6 pounds of muscle. He looks leaner. He looks more agile. If he comes in and can play that left guard spot and actually stay consistent, that mitigates one of your biggest flaws of last year when you weren't able to run the football.
Yeah, Cole, let's pause there for a second on Green, because it had been the weak link in the offensive line, as you just pointed out, although Titus Howard had a pretty abysmal year last year over at right tackle.
Yeah, you know, the thing with Titus Howard is that also the injuries continue to stockpile. And it's a little frustrating for fans because of this was a guy that they wanted to know what was going to be the long-term plan for him. He's made it clear he is not a guard. He is a tackle. But they give him a 3-year, $56 million extension before the start of training camp last year. And then immediately he gets hurt in training camp, so he misses most of training camp. Then he suffers another knee injury, which leads to concerns. And so that was why they went and used that second-round pick that was initially actually theirs on Blake Fisher, the right tackle out of Notre Dame. They don't believe he is day one starting material, but at the same point, when you look at what is going to be the case for Howard long-term, yeah, you got to have a good contingency plan in place. And that's where you go ahead and add in Fisher, who's got 26 starts under his belt, really good in the run blocking. They also are going to take a lot of pressure off of Stroud by adding in Joe Mixon. You know, that was a really underrated move that I don't think gets talked about enough. He was a very consistent pass catcher out of the backfield last season. 56 targets, 86 targets, 56 catches, 398 yards, 3 touchdowns. He got like 24 first downs. And so now you're adding in yet another piece to the puzzle to where you feel more confident in your run game being ampled, where you feel like that if you need to get that check down option that is a little bit more sustainable than Dameon Pierce and Devin Singletary, you're in a good spot. So those are moves that I really do like. The other thing that's really important is DJ's come out and said, we feel like we got 5 number 1 receivers. And in a sense, they do have 5 playmakers that could easily take over a game for an afternoon. Whether it be Stephon Diggs getting 8 catches, and then Nico Collins, who just signed his 3-year extension, getting 4 catches, and Tank Dell getting 7 catches.
Don't you dare say Dalton Schultz. Don't you dare.
Nope. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. In the red zone, Dalton Schultz, he is going to be a weapon.
Oh,
now, is he going to be a number 1? 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 That's the big point.
Let's rewind. Rewind a few minutes here. You mentioned Joe Mixon, who, as far as fantasy football fans know, Joe Mixon in the past has been a great running back to have on your team, although not necessarily an ace pass catcher in the past. Now, last year, you were dealing with a Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati Bengals. Jake Browning under center, Captain Checkdown, certainly found Joe Mixon a bunch as he was getting used to it. And granted, to your point, it shows Joe Mixon at least is capable of that kind of offense. But isn't it true when the Texans are really playing Texans football, they're running the football. They're not throwing to the running back.
No, if they're actually playing the version of football that they want to be, especially in a Bobby Slowick-led offense, they're going to be able to run it in a lot of different formations. They're going to be really good when it comes to gap plays. They're going to be extremely efficient on second and short. They're going to be able to call audibles to where they run a trips formation and then they go ahead and hand it off for a counter. They're going to be that type of team if that's the version of Texans football that we want. But your entire point goes back to, why don't you believe in the Texans? The other thing is that you got to go ahead and add in another year of another year of Will Anderson Jr. working in this defense where, You got to remember, when he was in high school and in college, he was an outside linebacker. He was a jackbacker. He was playing a 9-tech for the first time in over 7 years. So that's saying something. And he gets 7 sacks. He breaks J.J. Watt's rookie record. He's great against the run. He has a plus grade by Pro Football Focus.
He looked phenomenal, yes. Phenomenal.
He looked phenomenal. And then you add in Danielle Hunter. And Danielle Hunter, honestly, for the bang and buck value, the thing about it was he wanted to come home and play in front of his fans that he grew up watching. He's from Katy, which is right up from downtown Houston. He had 22 tackles for losses last year. He had the second most pressure rate in anybody in the NFC. And he also had 16.5 sacks. So it's like, yeah, you lose Jonathan Grenard because if he had a breakout year and he's going to get paid by Minnesota, but you kind of upgrade in a sense by getting a more seasoned, proven guy that has done it consistently and shown that he can not only stay healthy, but also work opposite of another really good pass rusher. Here's where I will give you the benefit of the doubt. Their defensive interior line might be the worst in the NFL. It honestly cannot get much worse than what it is right now because you don't know what you're going to do with Danico Autry. You know, when he was in Tennessee, he was a defensive end because they ran a 3-4 formation. So how is he going to shift back inside for the first time in over 4 years? And also, is he still going to be as perfection?
Yeah, Danico's no spring chicken either, that's for sure. And you guys picked up Foley
But he had
Fatukasi.
11.5. But he had 11.5 sacks last year. That's the point, is that, like, what was that? Was that because of the formation he was in, or was that because of he was just lined up in a great spot and went up against terrible offensive linemen?
No. I believe Jeffrey Simmons is partly to thank for all of that, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like you have some talent there, but the depth is not there at all. Like, they waited until round 7 to draft a defensive tackle, and they got a pretty damn good one in Marcus Harris from Auburn, who was an all-SEC player, but he's a 7th-round pick. That's a guy that you want to play, maybe 4% of snaps a game? You don't want him starting. You don't want him playing 25% of the reps. So there's a question mark there. There's also a question mark when it comes to how does this linebacking core work going into year 2 underneath D'Amico with now adding in Azeez Al-Shaair. He's going to be playing the Mike, which I think is a better option than what you have with Denzel Perriman, who basically was a tackling machine when you asked him to go downhill and a liability when you asked him to go left or right. It was like playing one of those games of 2K back in the 90s where if you had any shift of the stick, the game immediately busted. That's Denzel Perriman last year. He was not great when it was a sideline to sideline. So you upgrade there. The secondary is going to be a question mark, too, because here's the thing. They drafted Kamari Lassiter, I think, to be the nickel defender. They really like his physicality coming out of Georgia. They like the fact that he can play at the line of scrimmage. But he's been crushing it on the outside. He's been better than Jeff Okudah. He's been better than the one and only Jacksonville lovely C.J. Henderson that we all talk about from time to time. He's been absolutely better than him. He's been better than, at times, Derek Stingley going one-on-one against Stephon Diggs. So you're sitting there and saying, all right, well, where is the entire premise of the nickel defender, and how are you going to be able to attack teams that love to run 3 wide receiver sets? I mean, look at Jacksonville. They added in Gabe Davis. They added in Brian Thomas. Those are 2 vertical type receivers that can fly down the field and catch easy bombs. You got somebody that can play in the nickel that will mitigate one of them and take them out of play. But the whole point that you brought up here was, is Houston overrated, and why do I need to call you an idiot? The problem is that I'm probably the only Houston beat reporter that does not buy into the Texans hype entirely.
Oh, we got a smart one, Brian. We got a smart one.
Listen, here's the thing. I believe the Texans still are a playoff team. I believe the Jaguars are a playoff team. I believe the Indianapolis Colts can be a playoff team. I believe everyone besides Tennessee right now in the AFC South.
Look, we all agree on this.
Team.
That's great. That's fantastic.
And like the crazy part is, dude, like you think about it, the AFC South for the last 3 to 4 years has been the laughing stock of the NFL. People have just come and poked and prodded it and kicked it down like the redheaded stepchild that we all hate and that we all knew in high school that nobody ever wanted to get along with. And now they ended up blowing up and they turned into somebody that we all want to take out on a date. Like, they're really, really good. They're really interesting. They're fun to watch. But the problem is that the thing that people don't understand, and this is where you guys can probably get it better than most people in Houston, you went 9-8, and then you went 9-8. You went 9-8 under Doug Peterson, and you felt good. And then you went 9-8 under Doug Peterson, and you felt
horrifically.
Yeah, it was. You know, why are we 9-8? Because you had a first-place schedule, and the Texans have a first-place schedule. And when they went 10-7 last year, they had a fourth-place schedule. Like when you went 9-8, you had a fourth-place schedule. And you're taking out games with the AFC South, and you're adding in games with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, and Josh Allen still is available. Oh, and on top of all that, you have an 11-day window where you're taking on Miami and Baltimore and Kansas City.
Houston
and on top of all that, you're also taking on two of them on a Saturday and a Wednesday. So good luck preparing for that game. And then on top of that, you still have to go up against Tyreek Hill, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Waddle, the entire speed force that they have down in South Beach. That might as well be an F1 team. Like, that's what you get on top of all that. And then you get all these primetime games, so you're standalone, so that means the spotlight is going to be on you more. How do you live up to the hype? How does Stephon Diggs mesh with this team? I think if they're a 10-7 roster, I think at best they're an 11-6 roster. I think that they're a team that can go to the AFC divisional round. But until the cows come crying home or somebody proves on a consistent basis he's on his level, Pat Mahomes is Thanos. He's inevitable. He's going to kick your ass no matter where you are. Josh Allen still is one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC. And the AFC South still has some really good talent, top to bottom, all across the board, to where you have to be on your best level if you want to get a win. Any flaw, any mistake, you're going home with an L. And so that's when you look at this division, people are saying the Texans are going to be the number 1 seed. No, they're not. They're going to be the number 2 seed. No, they're not. They may be the number 3 seed, and that would be because of just complete and total implosion in the AFC East where everyone's 10-7. But even then, you're probably, 10-7, 11-6, and you have the better record among AFC East teams, so that's why you get the bid. Like, that's Houston. They're a good team. They're a solid team, but Jacksonville's a solid team. Indianapolis is a solid team. Tennessee is not a bad team. They're going to be pesky. I love what they did by bringing in Bill Callahan. I thought that was one of the smartest moves for the dumbest offensive line that we have seen in a hot minute over the last few years. So it's going to be a challenge week in and week out in the AFC South. I think that they're good. I just don't think that they are a Super Bowl contending roster like everybody else wants to go ahead and buy in on.
Brian, I haven't even started with Cole about my Danielle Hunter spiel, but I know you had some comments you heard along the way you wanted to add into that. What do you got for us, Brian?
Well, yeah, and you actually kind of touched on it already. Cole, thanks for hopping onto the show, by the way. So you made the correlation between Jacksonville, the 9-8 season that they made the playoffs, and then Houston last year going 10-7. A lot of similarities there. And my question was more of a macro point of view where it's like, how do you deal with those kind of expectations? You have a highly touted, super young quarterback in C.J. Stroud who had a heck of a season, or most of us believe he had a heck of a season in this building. And
are you trying to say I don't think, because I think he had a great rookie season.
And he's and now he's dealing with the expectations, not just the first place schedule, but
not just expectations. They got a year of film on the kid.
Yeah, but But how have you heard anything from the organization or out of the building of how C.J. Stroud is dealing with that, or has that question been posed to him?
Cole, before you answer that question, let me quote from a wonderfully insightful and smart article titled "The Houston Texans Have the Most Overrated Offense Entering 2024." written by Steve. Shout out to Steve Bradshaw, who works over at USA Today. He's talking a little bit about the sophomore slump and how it's a real thing for quarterbacks to the point where productivity on average from rookie to second year goes down by a little more than 12%.
Well, yeah, and I'm not just talking about the performance though, Aaron. I'm also asking, like, we were going 8-3 after coming off of that 9-8 playoff season.
Yep.
If the bottom falls out like it did for Jacksonville for Houston halfway through the season, you're looking at your captain, you're looking at your quarterback to lead you out of that, and having a guy so young dealing with all the other things quarterbacks normally have to deal with. I just wanted to know whether or not he's talked about that, or has there been any semblance like he wouldn't be able to handle that, or this is how he handles that kind of adversity already?
Yeah, so he technically has not come out and talked about it, but D'Amico's talked about it. Your favorite Dalton Schultz has talked about it. He has absolutely loved it on him. You've heard it from Will Anderson. You've heard it from Azeez Al-Shaair. You've heard it from even Danico Autry. They've all said that the way that he carries himself in practice and the way that he demands excellence, throw, route, consistency, breaking the huddle. It's little things, it's little details where he is treating it like it is a live game and that they are in a atmosphere of 170,000 people screaming at him, booing him. He wanted to be crisp and precise. And that was something where last year he said that he had some questions. You know, When you come into the league, you're trying to establish yourself as the next big name, and you're trying to establish yourself as a proven commodity in the locker room. Well, he's done that. Everyone knows who C.J. Stroud is. It's very hard when you look at every podcast, every social media thing. Micah Parsons dabbing him up every single where they go. They just went to China to go do the NFL for NFL Asia. So he's everywhere right now. Now he is coming back into the huddle, and he is immediately just picking back up where he left off with the growth, with the development, with the attitude, with the charisma, with the poise. So the thing that is going to be really interesting is how well does this dynamic offense work together, the one that is apparently the most overrated in the NFL. It's not, but it's not. I mean, there's at least 2 or 3 more that are probably right up there with them, but that's not the point. The point is that when you look, it's going to be really based off of how quickly does C.J. Stroud say, no, I am the alpha. No, I am the leader in this clubhouse. I don't care that Stephon Diggs got 3 targets today. He was open 3 times. I threw him the ball 3 times. Nico Collins, I don't care that you were open 6 times. You were open 6 times. That's why you have this many targets. Like, the problem when everyone says, they go and scream, oh, they got 5 wide receivers that are number 1s. Yeah, but when you have 5 number 1s, do you really have a number 1?
Well, I don't really think they have 5 wide receivers. I think Nico Collins is the number 1 wide receiver. I think Stephon Diggs is the 1-year rental. I think there's a negative 37% chance Stephon Diggs is on this team a year from now. It's a 1-year rental. He's going to go out and try and get a high-priced contract in free agency, which will not happen for Stephon Diggs, by the way. Here's the thing that I love about Stephon Diggs on the Texans. The last 4 years for Stephon Diggs, 166 targets, 164 targets, 154 targets, 160 targets. When my guy is getting 80 targets and screaming in C.J. Stroud's face on the sideline, it's not going to be fun to be a Houston Texan fan.
No, but again, if CJ's the one telling him, I don't put up with that type of nonsense, you're going to go ahead and sit down. And then he demands his release and all that. And Stroud goes, okay, best of luck to you. And that's the way it goes.
Yeah, no, that worked out great for the Bills, too.
Right, but that's the thing. That's what it shows you. You know, that's the guy who's in charge. That's the thing, man, is that, like, right now, I agree with you. I think if there's 2 number 1s at most on the team, not 5, and it's going to be Nico Collins, and because if he's going to complain, or at least we think he's going to complain, Stephon Diggs, and a pretty decent number 2 speedster in Tank Dell, who last I checked, if I remember week 3, what did he do to you guys? Ah, God, I'm sorry. That
whoa,
look at this.
Whoa, no need for the
catching
shots.
strays. I thought we were all friends here. What happened?
We are. I'm just saying. It's just fun. It's just fun to mess. Look,
I happen to
Stroud,
like Tank Dell. He just should stop wearing the targets on his legs when he goes out to the clubs, and then he can be safe. Everything will be fine.
God bless. Oh, bless.
But thank goodness that he's safe. He's coming back. Now, it's not great news for Stephon Diggs, obviously, but Tank Dell obviously had a great season last year, cut short by the broken leg. Nico Collins, you want to talk about the breakout of all breakouts, and he works it into a $25 million a year contract. And I will say this, even though I'd love to hate the Texans, it's hard to hate DeMeco Ryans.
No, that's the big thing, is that they got a guy who is still not even 40 years old. He was playing in the NFL less than 10 years ago, and now he's a head coach. And I think that gives you an advantage a lot of times when it comes to young players that are trying to adapt to the NFL. You know, I've talked to some of the rookies from last year, and they said they've had stories that are very similar to DeMeco's rookie year in 2006. And I'm like, are you sure about that? And he goes, yeah, listen, you know, the age gap may seem like it's large, but it's really not. The personnel has differed, but the same attitude, the same, you know, type of demeanor that coaches have inside that huddle, they're dealing with it now in 2023, 2024. So that gives you an advantage, and they're able to have, I think, a very close relationship where it's very relaxed whenever they get in screaming matches and they go back to square one. It's like arguing with your wife at 2 a.m. and then 7 a.m. rolls around and you're like, hey, what do you want for breakfast? Like, that's kind of their relationship, is that they're good when it comes to that.
I did not realize you guys had C.J. Henderson, obviously taking on Foley Fatukasi as well. I'm surprised he didn't go out and get Caleb on Chase on when he decided to leave the Jaguars as well. But Cole Thompson, Texans Wire, great job by you. Thank you so much for joining the Aaron Schachter Show. We'd love to have you back when the Jags and Texans meet for the first time this season. That'll be a great one.
Anytime, Aaron. Just don't make me catch any more strays, okay?
See you, man. Cole Thompson, once again, Texans Wire. Worth checking him out on Twitter as well. He does great work over there covering the Houston Texans. Man, that was a high-energy guy, huh? He's out there just with all the answers He's got all the answers for why. One thing I did like about him.
Okay, one thing, only one.
Well, one of a couple.
Oh, okay.
He agreed with your boy Aaron.
He did.
He was like, "Hey, man, I'm not sold on it either."
I was about to get him one of those. You remember the towels from the playoff game, the Chargers playoff game? Or was it the
scary napkins?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. You remember that? I was about to get him one and give it. It sounded like he was ready to convert.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Cole
Texas beat
Thompson,
writer.
Shout out to Cole for joining the show today.
Good
We
guy.
really appreciate that. Coming into enemy territory. Had a good sense of humor about it as well.
I mean, except the shots fired.
Hey, look, he's allowed. We took shots.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I like it when you can fight back, but man, give me a little bit of a warning.
I had
Let me warm up.
I had to point him in the direction of this article I love. We took shots. Man, I don't even know what's coming up next, Brian. It's been a whirlwind so far.
Hey, man, listen, that's what happens when you're carrying the team on your back. It's a whirlwind, and you get used to it. That's it, man.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's what we'll do. We'll go to break. We'll get used to it. We'll be back in a couple of minutes on ESPN 690. 904-362-9901. What's your opinion on the AFC South this year? What do you see developing? Do you see it the way Cole sees it? Do you see it the way we see it? Or do you have your own vision of it? 904-362-9901. The Aaron Schachter Show, back in a couple of minutes.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
I'm Action News Jack's First Alert meteorologist Trevor Gibbs. Another day with hot temperatures in the lower to middle 90s, but we will see some relief from the heat today with a few showers and thunderstorms this afternoon, widely scattered about. Higher rain chances for Wednesday, slightly cooler temperatures near 90 and occasional rain through the end of the week. Not a whole lot, but needed rain is on the way. From the Action News Jack's First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Trevor Gibbs.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. 0% financing for 5 years is back for a limited time at Beards Diamonds.
Meet David, talking about his experience with BioTarget regenerative therapy at injury care centers.
After my first treatment of BioTarget, I noticed the results right away when I left the office. I was having pain in my knee and I was unable to run. After the treatment, I was able to start running again. I was taking like ibuprofen. It really wasn't working. Really didn't want to consider surgery at all, so that's why I seeked out the BioTargeting. You can have here at the injury care center, they're going to give you 100% money back guarantee for a treatment. I don't know if it gets any better than that. I was amazed about the results. I would definitely recommend this to my friends and family members.
Stop masking your pain with harmful medications. There's a better solution. BioTarget regenerative therapy has helped countless others, and it can help you too. Call 904-92-REGEN or visit gobiotarget.com today.
Spring has sprung, and tax return season is here. Now's the time to beautify your home by replacing your old windows with new energy-efficient, easy-to-clean windows from American Window Products. Keep the summer heat out with special glass packages, including low E3 and argon gas. American Window Products only uses the highest quality products and professionally trained employees to install. Call now to find out why they were voted the #1 window company in Jacksonville. 731-2247 for a free estimate, or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Can you fly, Snyder-Man?
I wish.
Do you have super strength?
Above average for my age.
X-ray vision?
Nah.
Then what makes you a superhero?
Our AC is out.
Duty calls, kids.
Snyderman saves the day with affordable preventative care plans that keep systems operating at peak efficiency all year long. Get your preferred customer plan at SnyderAC.com today.
You're my hero, Snyderman. CAC 1813307.
The lightest 350 horsepower onboard has just hit the water. Introducing the all-new Yamaha 4.3-liter V6 offshore F350 with advanced features and class-leading power to weight. Every run will be more efficient and exhilarating. The new 4.3-liter V6 offshore F350 from Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
Hey, Jacksonville Koozies, it's me, Soccer Sam, for Salvatore's Pizza. Rochester, New York's favorite pizza is now open in Jacksonville, Florida, Tapestry Park at the Loft Hotel Plaza. Daily $10 deals, dine in with beer and wine, and delivery at salvatores.com. The famous Formoso family brings Salvatore's Pizza, Rochester's favorite pizza, including our 32-piece sheet pizza for your next event. Do it with me, baby. Selfstores.com.
Why Arlington Toyota? Okay, this you've got to hear. Just drive to their lot and you're going to see that Arlington has a huge selection of new vehicles in stock in one location. No more driving around trying to find what you want. Arlington's got it. And every new Toyota purchase comes with Arlington's lifetime warranty, unlimited time and miles. Plus, you get 60 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. And Arlington's Credit Helper program to help you get financed. Shop arlingtontoyota.com today.
My wife and I both, we ended up mildly sick for a few months, and the nasal congestion was probably the worst part. I had like a post-nasal drip, just super congested all the time. We were taking everything we possibly could, but nothing really worked.
Kyrie was miserable until a friend recommended Navage. Navage offers immediate drug-free congestion relief, flushing your nasal passages with refreshing saline and sucking out mucus, germs, and other airborne irritants. Don't live in misery this cold season. Use Navage so you can breathe easier, sleep better, and feel your best right away.
The biggest thing Navage has done has completely cleaned out my nasal passages. It was from the first use. I was able to just clear out anything that was stopping me from breathing correctly. Navage helps me clear the way, literally clear the way for me to operate better in the rest of my life.
Experience the Navage difference yourself. Navage is available at Navage.com or at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. So my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today. Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey guys, we're the Twin Peaks girls. Come have lunch with us every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and listen to the Young and Norvell Show on ESPN 690.
Welcome back to the Aaron Schachter Show, ESPN 690, 904-362-9901. Anytime I got Dak Prescott information, I always want to dedicate it to you, Brian. You're like an A1 Dak hater.
No, I don't hate him. I don't hate him at all, Aaron.
I mean...
That's false news.
That's
fake news.
I don't know about that. Fake news.
That's what your guy says, right? That's fake news, Aaron Schachter.
My guy. Are you Gary now? That's what Gary does.
Does Gary do that?
Yeah, he does. Listen, Dak Prescott is one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. How does that make you feel?
I mean, to each their own, man. The muck and mire of it all. Muck and mire.
You agree or disagree with the statement?
I agree that you have the right to believe that, and you can bring out numbers that would probably support you believing that.
Dak Prescott will make the Hall of Fame. How do you feel about that statement?
The way that the NFL is set up now, if they're basing it off of certain numbers and not bringing context into the situation, then yeah, sure.
So
you can believe that as well.
You agree he's a Hall of Famer?
I believe you can believe that as well. Yeah.
He's got a career average, career AV, which is Pro Football Reference's basically metric of importance, of 107, with the average Hall of Famer coming in at 100. And the career's not even close to done.
Listen, if Tony Romo gets in, then
Tony Romo's not getting in.
I'll usher Rain Dakota in myself. I'll read his induction speech, or not his induction speech, but the person that introduces him. I'll be that person.
Tony Romo's not getting it. Dak Prescott's in an interesting contract situation, though, because he literally has all the leverage in the world right now. Either the Dallas Cowboys can pay him $60 million, or they can give him a new extension, which is what he wants, with a substantial raise from the beginning of the contract, which is in this last deal was about 40 and now be around 55. Or they could let him walk. Free agency. Could you imagine a world where Dak Prescott gets picked up by the Giants and then haunts the Cowboys for the next 5 to 6 years?
Never happen. It would never happen. Dallas, you should hope that situation happens. You should pray that situation happens. Sometimes it's best just to rip the Band-Aid off, Aaron.
Adam Schefter, I don't know that he agrees with you.
There's not a player in football with more leverage right now than Dak Prescott. He's headed into the last year of his contract. He can't be traded.
No trade clause on the man.
Can't be tagged.
Can't tag the man.
He would be out of his mind to give any type of discount when he...
Hometown discount? No, thank you.
He is in the position to reset the quarterback market after the season if Dallas doesn't have a deal done with him. There's no player in football with more leverage than Dak Prescott, and I would expect him to use it like a hammer, despite the fact that he'd like to stay with the hometown Cowboys.
Pick a number. What's he going to get paid?
Yeah, he'll probably be the one that reaches 58.
Ooh.
You know, I can see him doing that. And Aaron, I don't disagree. These are two different arguments. I don't disagree. The leverage part, yeah, and use it. I'm for the players making as much money as possible. So do it if you want to. And I mean, because you had a loaded team right now, you can't win with a loaded team. So you might as well take the money from other players on your team so that they got to go away in free agency and have a lesser team overall so you get more money. But that doesn't mean that I think that he's one of the best QBs in the NFL. He just has the right place, the right time, and enough of a skill set to have the amount of leverage that he has. Shefty ain't wrong. You're not wrong with that.
Do you think Dak Prescott is mid on a mid team?
Yeah. I don't see him bringing people up and, you know.
So what is it about the Cowboys that has made him this great quarterback? His offensive line? Because
number one, that's one.
Because he hasn't had CeeDee Lamb the whole time.
Yeah, but hold on. But number one, that's one. And he's always had some kind of weapon. And he hasn't been that.
Every quarterback has some kind of weapon.
Not every quarterback.
Every quarterback's got a weapon. At least one.
No, not every quarterback.
Name a quarterback who's weaponless.
Well, hold on. Let me just, as a Carolina Panther fan, I feel very personal about this one.
You don't like Adam Thielen, huh?
Yeah, okay. Every quarterback has a weapon. Adam Thielen is our weapon down there. So, but let me get back to the main point.
Okay.
Mid, in the sense of, if he had to be the guy to put the team on his back and get you into the playoffs and get you a deep run into the playoffs, and he doesn't have CeeDee Lamb, and he doesn't have the normal Cowboys offensive line, or at least one or two guys who are probably going to the Hall of Fame, and he doesn't have an outbreak season from Tony Pollard with Zeke on the way out, and he doesn't have that defense that is at least able to beat up on teams lesser than him, he's not going to be that kind of guy. I don't think he's going to be like Daniel Jones down in the dumps, no, but I don't think that he can be considered one of these guys that could be transcended in the way that you can stick him on this mid-level team, you can stick him on a top-tier team, you can stick him on a team that won 2 games, and he can at least get you to 5 wins. He can at least get you to 6 wins. You wouldn't be a great team, but you wouldn't be a 2-win team. I don't think that's Dak Prescott. That doesn't change the fact that I still get your money, Dakota, and use your leverage, because you can't win with a loaded team, so you might as well take all the money. Be greedy. Be greedy.
You know, he's not the only one that's got contract drama happening right now. A few names around the league have some contract drama happening right now. One of them, which we hear quite often here in Jacksonville consistently, is San Francisco 49ers wide receiver Brandon Ayuk. And we know that Brandon's been looking for a new contract for a long time. Mm-hmm. We know that he's been subject to trade rumors. We heard a report out of Winn-Dixie earlier this year that had Brandon Ayuk coming to the Jaguars for pick 17 and $27 million or whatever that report was.
I thought your friend's source was in Publix. It was Winn-Dixie?
It was Winn-Dixie.
Oh, that's even worse.
It was one of the cashiers at Winn-Dixie, yeah, given that report. Pick 17 and highest paid receiver in football, whatever that nonsense was, that didn't happen. Now we're finding out how far apart Brandon Ayuk is from the Niners on a contract. Turns out Ayuk is looking for a Justin Jefferson type deal.
Man, what?
That's terrible.
Pause. What?
Put some respect on my name.
I mean,
He
nah,
wants some
man.
Justin Jefferson money.
Man, nah.
What?
Nah. You got any more hotkeys? I feel like we need to
You
go back
sure
and forth.
about that?
You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, that's crazy.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Let's do it.
Stop the cat.
Brandon Ayuk.
What?
Oh, man. That's wild.
Justin Jefferson, so clearly he's not going to get Justin Jefferson money.
That and we just reenacted the San Francisco 49ers front office, by the way.
Yeah. John Lynch
Yeah.
is over.
Offense. He was giving them the business.
Shanahan about to bust a rib open laughing at this.
Yeah.
You want Justin Jefferson money. Where? You thought, okay.
So fine, maybe he's not going to get $35 million a year, but the offer reportedly to Brandon Ayuk not too long ago was 26. That's when they shut down the conversation. They shut down the conversation at 26.
So goofy. These numbers are so goofy.
He's looking for A.J. Brown money.
He's not A.J. Brown, though. He hasn't had the chance to prove it. I don't know if he is or not. I guess, man. Somebody out there maybe will do it.
A.J.
Maybe.
Brown ended up signing an extension this offseason and makes him $32 million a year. And so that's what Brandon's looking for. So I think what is going to end up happening here is that I do believe they will sign him to an extension. I think that extension will be closer to 28 to 30 than it will be 30 to 32. That being said, once you sign that deal, Debo's a goner. It's over. 29 years old, injured the last couple of seasons, $25 million a year that they signed a couple of years ago when he was threatening to hold out. He actually did hold out for a little bit, asked for a trade. They came back with the money for him. You can't have both those guys. And Nick Bosa.
Mm-hmm.
And Trent Williams might be looking for a new deal. And you just gave Christian McCaffrey the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there are also players on the defense who need to get. Travarius Ward is one of the better corners in the league. You're going to let him walk? Granted, you're rich. You're stinking rich at the wide receiver spot. And you got George Kittle on the team.
Yeah.
So someone's got to go. And I'm sure the preference is Debo, older player.
Oh, to let go. Yeah, I can see that.
Older player, you trade him for picks, you get back some young guys. You got Ricky Pearsall, you hope he works out. Shout out to the Gators. And you see what happens. But I'm not sure that the Niners are going to get the return for Debo that they're hoping to get for him. And I'm not sure that they're going to give Ayuk the 30. This thing could go south on the Niners fairly quickly, I think.
And what if he's not that guy?
Brendan Ayuk?
Once you take the one, because you're right, an embarrassment of riches. And when you don't have the main focus, I mean, he would still have Christian McCaffrey. There still would be Kittle. You know what I mean? Like, there still would be guys that the defense would have to look at.
Yeah.
But when you have such a stacked offense, you're right. You're freed up more to make those kind of numbers that he's produced. So I'm glad, again, he's fighting for his money, his contract. But, boy, you don't have Debo there. Let's say somebody else goes down. You know what I mean? Like, you better produce Justin Jefferson money. What planet? What universe?
He had a great season last year.
He did.
I think he was wide receiver 5 in fantasy last year.
He did. He showed up.
Trying to see how PFF has him stacked here in their PFF grades. I know he showed improved. I'm looking for a very specific number. There we go. So his rookie year in 2020 was an 80.1. Followed that up with a 74.4. Followed that up with an 80.3. And then last year exploded onto the scene, 92.3.
He should do what he's going to do. Shut it down at $26 million? How dare you?
He wants $35 million for never having gone over 78 catches in a year. He wants $35 million for never having gone over 1,342 yards in a year. 8 touchdowns, career high. It's not shabby.
No, not at all.
That's great.
It's hard to get into the end
8
zone.
touchdowns, sure. $35 million.
But hold on. The same thing. Now, I will say it goes both ways. Yes, you have other guys that the defense is paying attention to. So, yeah, you have more theoretically, space to free up. But when you start producing some of those numbers right there, it's hard to get when you're being targeted, when you get your numbers, you got to produce because you do have Debo there. They are giving Christian McCaffrey the ball. George Kittle is also open. So, when the ball is thrown to you, you've got to show up. And he said, hey, I showed up. We only got so many balls, to pass around. Pause. You feel what I'm saying?
I do feel what you're saying.
So, I can argue it both ways.
You got hit with a double pause.
Yeah. Instead of double pause, I wanted to see pause, how that felt.
How do you feel about the fact that he had 61% of the targets Stephon Diggs had, and he's looking for $35 million? That's crazy to me. Brandon Ayuk needs someone to sit him down and be like,
intervention?
My guy.
Remember A&E?
Yes.
Yeah, like
That's
that?
a great show.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best crying scenes of all time. You know the scene I'm talking about?
I do. The black dude.
It's so good.
Yeah.
He starts wailing.
You ever watch the whole...
It was so good.
You ever watch the whole clip of why that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I used to like that show a lot. That and Hoarders. We're getting way off topic, and we're late for a break. Let's come back and do this nonsense.
Holy
The Aaron
smokes.
Schachter Show, 904-362-9901. Back in a minute. ESPN 690.
Hi, everyone. Terry Norvell here, along with Patrick Young from the Young and Norvell Show.
Our show is going great, and we are looking to grow the show with some new advertising partners.
If you're a business owner looking to market your product or service to a male, high-income, and college-educated audience, we are the show for you.
Just reach out for more information with a call or a text to 904-305-7526.
That's right. I'll get in touch with you, and we'll put together a budget-friendly marketing plan on our show exclusively for your business. Call or text me, Terry Norvell. That number again, 904-305-7526, and let's get you on our team.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Our returning champion, a basketball court sweat mopper from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Louis Cramp.
Great to be back, Merv.
There's only one category left on the board, Louis. People you can trust to repair your air conditioner. Your 10 seconds starts now.
Well, I'm pretty handy with tools around. So my Uncle Steve used to fix transmissions, so maybe he could... Okay, sorry. I guess just call the guys at Bueller?
That's right, Louis. The highly trained technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing have the tools and the experience to service any make and model of home air conditioner to make sure that you are cool.
You sure I can't just have a quick...
Yeah, we're done for today. Stay cooler with Bueller. Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hi, it's me, your plumber, with important information for anyone interested in safe, soft, filtered water. Don't drink bottled water. Get advice from someone you trust, buy a water filter, and don't call those high-priced water guys. Instead, call me, your plumber. I recommend Safety Zone water systems, so you get top quality equipment, affordable prices, and you'll save money too. Safety Zone is your #1 choice considering price, performance, and reliability.
Safety Zone Water is the single source water treatment supplier for the plumbing industry. Our distributor is Nolan Company Jacksonville, the leading plumbing wholesaler for water treatment in Northeast Florida. For sales and service, contact your local plumber or visit us at safetyzonewater.com.
Safety Zone Water.
The #1 water brand recommended by plumbers.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Here at Total Wine & More, our amazing selection means you'll always
Love what you find.
Dad, what are you doing here?
Just getting a sneak peek at my Father's Day gifts.
Well, I was thinking of getting you this Barrel Select bourbon.
That's a really nice bottle.
And Total Wine has it at the totally lowest price.
Wow, you always were my favorite.
Thanks, Dad.
Talking to the bourbon, sweetie.
Find what you love what you find. Like the perfect gift for Dad at the perfect price. Only at Total Wine & More.
And drink responsibly. B21.
Is switching your wireless service to Total by Verizon easy? Totalmente. Now you can get 50% off any unlimited data phone plan. That's one line for only $25 a month, and you keep the phone you love. Hurry, this is a limited time offer. So find a store or switch suavemente at totalbyverizon.com. Offer ends July 31st, 2024. Promo subject to cancellation after 12 months. Available exclusively online and in Total by Verizon stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device and SIM. See totalbyverizon.com for device compatibility and additional details. Taxes and fees may apply.
Hot, hot, hot. Can you believe this weather out there? Hi, this is Stan Nagel for Energy Seal Foam Insulation, reminding you that you're burning up. Do something about it. Spray foaming your attic with Energy Seal really works.
Call 888-306-3626 for 20% summer savings. EnergySealJax.com.
People are going to want to see you fall when you get to the top.
3 stars, 1 season, changing history.
Cardoso for 3. Banks it in!
to plan these environments. This is what we work for. We fought so hard all season long.
You could not have scripted a better ending to this magical women's college season.
Kiki Rice, Camila Cardoso, and Caitlin Clark. ESPN Plus Original presents Full Court Press, presented by State Farm. Stream now on ESPN Plus.
This Father's Day, the Home Depot has same-day delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad be everything he can be. Because your dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Let the Home Depot help power Dad's doing with the convenience and gas-like power of Milwaukee cordless outdoor tools. Plus, get up to $150 off select Milwaukee tools. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
ESPN 690 has a chance for you to win tickets to see the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp play at 121 Financial Ballpark. Register to win your tickets at ESPN690.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
Schachter Show. You just can't let it go. Funny, shocking, nonstop right. Feel the rush deep inside.
Feel that rush deep inside. It's the Aaron Schachter Show.
I don't know why I thought that you were going to pause it, turn your mic on, and be like, deep inside.
Deep inside.
Yeah.
You have the controls. I would have done it if you paused it.
Oh, I was looking forward to that
known.
spookiness.
I would have done it.
Yeah, I know you would have.
Hey, shout out to Mercedes Lewis. Mercedes Lewis signing on for a 19th season. 19 seasons for Mercedes Lewis. He re-signed. Re-signed with the Chicago Bears. 1-year deal. He broke a tie last year with Jason Witten and Tony Gonzalez for the most seasons played at tight end. He turned 40 on May 19th. It's second. What's the problem with being 40? He's second behind Aaron Rodgers for the oldest active player in the NFL.
Man. Get that bread.
And then the record for tight end with the most games played, not seasons, games played, is Jason Witten, current record holder at 271.
Really?
Mercedes got 268.
That's what I'm putting.
Now we're talking.
Well, what that NFL pension look like when you get to season 19?
For Mercedes, it looks like $17 million a year, apparently, based on what he's doing. But Mercedes, you got to wonder, is he going to be able to play in these games? Like, I know he signed a 1-year deal, but will he be active on game day? You never really know with some of these rosters.
Nah, good for him for real, man.
But he did. He played in 17 games last year, and he only started 4 of them. But you don't need to start to get it logged as a game.
Hey, whatever gets me my direct deposit, my boy. Huh? Practice squad.
But, you forget Mercedes Lewis, with the exception of 2014 here in Jacksonville, he's avoided injury, or at least significant injury that has made him miss playing time almost every season out of his 19.
Aaron, if your kid was born when Mercedes Lewis first touched the NFL football field, he or she is now
18 years
college
old.
age.
Yeah.
Going to be a freshman.
Done with high school.
At
Mercedes
the University of Florida.
Look, there are guys out there who weren't born. Actually, that's not true. If they're playing football, they were born.
Yeah, that'd be impressive.
I take it back, Brian.
It sounds like you figured it out on the fly, so it happens.
Shout out to Mercedes Lewis, formerly the best tight end in Jaguars history. That distinction now belongs to Evan Ingram.
It's disputable.
Really?
We've done that on Survey Says. The most productive. I'm sorry, not the best, the most productive in Jags history.
Okay. I'd like to hear the other side of that, maybe another time. It's been the Aaron Schachter Show. Shout out to Justin Cousart. Shout out to Brian Middleton for really spelling Justin Cousart, because he's a terrible producer. He's awful.
You doubled down on that, too.
So glad to have you back, man. Never want to work with that guy again. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Big day tomorrow. We'll see you on the Aaron Schachter Show.
If you're the victim of a car crash, never rush to settle with the insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anna Jar and Levine. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Main office, Jacksonville. Rich Jones here. Investing can be more about just filling a bank account. It's about having a secure retirement, protecting your family. Let DLP Capital help you to protect your why. Here's CEO and founder Don Wenner.
I started DLP Capital with an expectation that I could provide my family, my investors, my team members, and the families of my investors with awesome returns, limited volatility, and no losses, all while providing desperately needed affordable housing to the American workforce.
To get your investor's guide and learn more, dial star invest on your cell phone or visit highyieldreturns.net.
I'm sure many of you guys feel like you wish you could be as fit as you were in your 20s. But dad bod is really tough to shed. I'm Dr. Lance Snyder, and I did something about it through Dr. Rappaport at the Jax Aesthetic Center. I'm active, I played college sports, and I still work out a few times a week. Nothing worked. As a doctor and a dad, I want to be around as long as possible and feel good about my body. Dr. Rappaport put together a personalized treatment plan that worked. It was easy for me to make appointments, get to those appointments, and get back to work in time. I also recommend the Emsella chair for any urinary issues or ED. Dr. Rappaport has state-of-the-art treatment options for men. And the M-Sculpt Neo is an abs blast. 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Give yourself your own gift this Father's Day at the Jax Aesthetic Center. Build muscle and lose fat. Call or text today, 904-808-2455. That's 904-808-2455. You won't be sorry.
Snyderman, can you move things in your mind?
Nope.
Did you read our minds?
I got nothing. Were you thinking of nothing?
No. So, what makes you a superhero?
I can tell if you should repair or replace your air conditioning system.
If it's time to replace your air conditioning unit, Snyder can help. Get 0% interest if you pay in full within 60 months. Visit SnyderAC.com and get the details in a flash.
Flash? I think you mean Snyderman.
CAC 1813306.
Ammon here with Zero Res. After a long day's work, my family and I love to sit on our favorite sofa and recliners and watch a good TV show. It kind of helps us wind down for the day. We usually pass around some fresh popcorn too. That's why we need to bring home the Zero Res truck and get that furniture looking great again.
For the month of June, Zero Res is offering 25% off all upholstery cleaning. That's 25% off a sectional, 25% off a sofa, 25% off a love seat, and 25% off your favorite recliner. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Meet Mike Lester.
Talent is not going to be the right choice for every single person out there, right? Because everybody is different. We do well when our clients do well. We're literally sitting on the same side of the table with them. We're in this together.
Yeah.
When you do well, I'll do well. Once we have that understanding, then we can come up with a plan that's designed to help you be successful in retirement.
Find out more at guardingyournestegg.com.
Advisory services through Talon Private Wealth and SEC registered investment advisor. Florida license D056341.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
My son loves to fly kites, but my active psoriatic arthritis can sometimes hold me back. Now with Skyrizi to treat my skin and joints, I'm ready to go. Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults, helps with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. For those who also have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible with just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi today and visit